We come on the air this Friday night with player movement, as first reported by Shams Charania of The Athletic. After being bought out by the Pistons, Markieff Morris intends to sign with the Lakers. With Detroit, Markieff was averaging 11 points, shooting nearly 40% from three, which was a career high. So now both Morris twins will be in L.A. as Marcus recently joined the L.A. Clippers. Schedule news as well. That Laker-Clipper game that was postponed the Tuesday after Kobe's death has been rescheduled, but there's also a lot of moving pieces in this one affecting 4 separate games. So here's the big headline. The Battle of LA will now be made up on Thursday, April 9th, and of course it will be on TNT. For the entire list of games that were adjusted and moved, and for the sake of not spending an hour going over boring scheduling information, please visit NBA.com, which will have all of the details for you and map out every single thing you need.
I like how you did that, Jerry. I like how you did that.
It is a Friday night, and we are ready to go. We've got the 2007 Coach of the Year, Sam Mitchell. We've got our sharpshooter on set here, 3D Dennis Scott. I'm Jared Greenberg. We're here for a while, leading you right up and through a Friday night edition of Crunch Time, showing you all the biggest moments of the night as they happen live. That'll tip off at 9 o'clock Eastern tonight. Well, guys, it's the first full night of scheduling after the All-Star break. Are you relaxed, refreshed? I know I am. I'm ready to go.
No Can we tell? How much? What are you having that cup over there?
It's called 4 shots of espresso.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to stay away from that.
That is the secret trick.
But to be recharged, a couple of days off, and to your point, first full night, and then come back with this news with the Lakers. And when they didn't make any moves at the trade deadline, saying we had to do something. So we know this helps with the toughness, small ball, defensively, another shot maker. When LeBron goes to the bench, maybe he can come in and help with some scoring punch. So I like this move once it becomes official.
Yeah, there is still a significant part of this that needs to be figured out. The Lakers are maxed out on roster spots.
That's right.
Somebody got to go.
They need to decide who's going. And now the obvious answer, it looks to be DeMarcus Cousins. But
yeah.
If there's any sliver of hope that they think they can get him back for the playoffs, do you want to give up on him now?
Look, you're talking about a guy who hadn't played all year, and then you're talking about saving him for the playoffs at that crucial time, and then you have JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard, who's played good basketball, who've accepted their role, who's played within the confine in which you need them to, and they've excelled in it. So to me, DeMarcus Cousins, 3D, would be more of a luxury. You're talking about bringing a guy back just for the playoffs who's missed the entire season. That's too much pressure to put on DeMarcus Cousins, and that's too much to put on this Laker team, thinking that he can come in and provide a punch. So, again, the sensible thing, and he's a great player, the sensible thing would be to release DeMarcus Cousins.
No, Frank Vogel told us a few weeks ago for the open court game that they were hoping to have him during the All-Star weekend.
Center court.
Center court.
It's the pride and joy of NBA TV on Monday night.
I just got finished watching the D-Wade thing and got me all messed up. But anyway, when Frank Vogel told us that, it made us think, to Sam's point, how could you use a guy that late in the season hadn't given you any meaningful minutes throughout the whole season?
Right.
This makes more sense because we know Morris has been playing. He's in shape. It's a matter of how long will it take to pick up the system so he can fit into the rotation.
So think about it. Now Anthony Davis can slide to the 5, or Anthony Davis can still play the 4. Morris can guard the 5 because AD doesn't like to do that. And now you can have a significant small ball team when you have AD, Morris, and LeBron in the front court. Now you're working with something. So, again, he's not as good as the other twin brother that's in L.A. and the Clippers, but he's good. He can knock down a 3. He adds size, defense, toughness. And so just another veteran player to go along to add to that playoff roster to make you better. But 3D, I still say they need to find another ball handler just to give LeBron a break. But maybe, hey, for the playoffs, LeBron, like, look,
I'm
42 a night.
I'm playing
45 a night. Strap it up.
But again, if they were, or somebody would be available on the buyout market and then becomes a free agent, that would mean you'd have to release another player. Just one administrative note that I think is important to remind people of this time of year, because I think it gets a little confusing. Basketball, unlike other sports, particularly I think baseball is what people get it confused with. You have to be released from your team that you are on right now by March 1st to be eligible for a playoff roster. You do not need to sign with a team prior to March 1st to be eligible to play in the playoffs. You simply have to be on your team's roster on their last game of the regular season to be eligible for the playoffs. So again, March 1st, it's coming quickly. It's an important date because you must be unemployed by March 1st to
Basically.
be eligible to be signed.
I'm free.
Yeah.
And go to a team to make the playoffs. All right, so that's the news. We'll talk more about the Lakers, who are in action, coming up a little later on. But let's go around the league and review what we
Name of the show, okay.
Yeah, want it right, Chris. Let's go.
Remember the Lakers-Clippers game that was postponed on January 28th? It's been rescheduled for April 9th.
That's perfect. Hopefully we'll have everything on the line. Clippers and Lakers is staple to determine, number one seed in the West. That would be ideal to have everything still be up in the air at that time of the season between two teams that are fighting it out to be top dog in the Western Conference.
Yeah, it's one of those things for me where we talked about it so much in September, October as things being put together. And now as you get to April, with 4 days left for the last end of the season. So now to be one game to be first, second place, I think would be huge.
For the Lakers, they have 29 games left in the regular season. Anthony Davis, LeBron James, won one of the most competitive all-star games in the last 20 years. Tonight, in their first game back, they play host to the young and talented Memphis Grizzlies, who are currently occupying the 8th spot in the Western Conference standings. Here are AD and LeBron looking ahead to the second half of the season.
Couple and a half practices like we had today. Keep getting after it, staying in the moment, taking it game by game. We know this is technically the second half of the season where guys come back from all-star break and teams pick it up, and so we have to do the same thing. But we have more than enough to be able to make sure that not only stay in the work, but to win basketball games. We want to make sure they come out and pick it up like we left off defensively. We know it'll probably be a little rough offensively, but defensively we can control that. I think we'll be fine.
LeBron, what are some of the things you want the team to work on? Obviously, a pretty good first part of the season. What about the second part?
I just want to continue to get better. We continue to get better every day. We put ourselves in a position where we can win. And that's all you matter for.
Chris, can we stop saying the second half of the season? Let's just call it
The last third.
Let's call it the last 8.5-week sprint. Let's call it that.
Okay.
No, they're not going to play another 50 games.
No.
It bothers me every year, so we should just change that now, Chris.
Okay,
on
I'm
your
with
show
you.
to warm up.
I was actually just thinking that as I said it. I'm like, yeah, that's not what it
8
is.
weeks left, because I understand that you're jockeying for a position. Those bottom 8 teams, they're already getting ready for 1, 2, 3 Cancun. They're getting ready for vacation. Let's just call it what it is. The top 8 teams are really taking this serious. Who could really move up in this next week or two? Who could slip?
Yeah.
7 or 8. Do you really want to hold on to 7 or 8, or do you really want to slip out and get a lottery pick? So only a handful of teams are really locking in, holding in, saying we really got jockey for a better position.
So looking at the Grizzlies and the Lakers, it's a possible playoff preview in the sense the Lakers, the 1 seed right now, the Grizzlies sitting in that 8th spot. But we also look at the moves that were made today. The Pistons bought out Markieff Morris, and according to Shams Charania, the Lakers, they've signed them. Sekou, what does he add to this team?
He adds the same things that the other Morris twin adds to the Clippers.
Yeah.
Toughness, shot making, a defender on the perimeter against, bigs, and guys who are playing, that wing forward spot. But more than anything, this gives the Lakers another body to go at the Clippers with. This is an arms race between these two teams. They've been trying to match up body for body. The Lakers are clearly the biggest, most formidable front line team you're going to see in the playoffs on the Eastern Conference. I think Milwaukee occupies that same spot, the other side. But this is a deal where if you couldn't get the other Morris, the Lakers, you just get this Morris. I mean, I like it. You put them in the same city.
Yeah.
Maybe test some loyalties. When see who really wants to go.
They're gonna change jerseys.
I like that.
Let's see who really wants to go at a twin when you play.
Hey, who y'all doubling tonight? What's going on? Like you might go inside. We may laugh at it, but can you imagine you just signed with the enemy, but we brothers.
Man, they might be sharing a condo.
As tight as you can get as twins, right? Yeah. So I'm sure one may be trying to get some type of information.
I love it.
I would.
It only spices up an already spicy rivalry. It's going to make it even better.
All right, we talk about the Lakers all the time. So let's talk about the Grizzlies and their young stars, Jaren Jackson, Ja Morant, and also I'm going to mention Brandon Clark in that conversation because all 3 of those guys played in the Rising Stars game. So 3D, like we've said before with this team, it seems like they're playing with house money. But what do you expect from them closing out the rest of this season? What do you watch?
I expect Coach Jenkins to really test this young team and see how good they want to be. Sekou and I were having a conversation a couple weeks ago about it. At first, I was like, I don't know, maybe let it go to draft pick. No, these young guys are playing the right way. They're on the right directory. You put the right vets around them. Why not get a taste of the playoffs? Why not let the fans know that this is who they are? The basketball guys have been good to them, getting them 2 young players. And you bring in Brandon Clark now. He's lights off. I call him the human pogo stick, the way he runs up down the floor in the alley-oops and block shots. I love everything Tyler Jenkins has done with this young team and the way they're playing.
Well, and you're going to have to fight off some competition.